Hello, friends, and welcome to another edition of the Pine Grove Briar, the only podcast where history meets humor, pops meet legends, smoke curls slowly through the pages of history, and where today the Wild West comes alive with a puff of smoke. I'm your host, and today I'm your sheriff of storytelling. And today's topic is none other than one of the most famous outlaws in American history. Billy the Kid. Billy the Kid, aka William H. Bonney, aka Henry McCarty, aka the rascal who couldn't stay out of trouble. But what if Billy had been a pipe smoker? Would history have remembered him differently? Slower shootouts? More thoughtful duels? We'll find out. Stick around. We've also got some great listener mail too. And yes, somebody asked about pipe tobacco recipes for the Old West, so can't wait to read that one. Before we get into today's story, though, I want to make mention of our friends at the Gatlinburg Tobacconist, found in the Mountain Mall on Level D in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. If you're looking for a place that has anything you can imagine as far as pipe tobacco and other kinds of tobacco, chewing tobacco, go check those guys out and tell them the Pine Grove Briar sent you. All right, so as a matter of fact, I'm burning Burlier's blend from the Gatlinburg Tobacconist in my briar today. And I love this blend, by the way. I have a lot of favorites. But that's all right. All right. So, who was Billy the Kid? Depending on who you ask, he was either a misunderstood folk hero or a teenage psycho with a fast trigger finger. He was born in 1859 in New York City, which I know that kind of ruins the cowboy fantasy a little bit. He moved west as a kid. I mean, can you imagine somebody we think of being in the Old West, being born in New York City? I wonder how he talked. I wonder if he talked like a city slicker. Anyway, he moved out west as a kid. After his mama died, he sort of floated around, got into trouble, and by 16, he'd killed a man. He was an early bloomer, I guess. Now, most folks tie Billy to the Lincoln County War, which was a messy feud in New Mexico between rival merchant factions. Billy fought for the regulators who basically said, hey, those other guys are corrupt, which they were, but so were the regulators. It's like rooting for two bad football teams that only punt, right? I mean, so he became famous partly because he kept slipping out of jails. Like, seriously, this guy could escape better than Houdini. There's a famous quote that says he killed 21 men, one for each year of his life. But historians think it was somewhere more like 4 to 9. The rest were probably killed by secondhand smoke. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. In 1881, though, Sheriff Pat Garrett finally tracked him down and shot him at Fort Sumner. Billy was 21. A legend by then. Even today, there are theories that Billy wasn't even killed and lived out his life under fake names. Imagine running into a grizzled old guy at a pipe shop in El Paso in 1915. Name's Bill. Used to be faster with a Colt than with a tamper. Which brings me to my next point. Go see our friends at Lee's Bait and Tackle, found in the Northtown Plaza on top of the 4 lane in Oneida, Tennessee. They make custom plastics, and I will attest to their effectiveness. A few bites later, I'll love them. Go tell them that Pine Grove Briar sent you. And up until Memorial Day, they're offering 10% off if you tell them that the Pine Grove Briar sent you. So go see Lee's Bait and Tackle. So, all right, let's have some fun here. Alternate history style. Picture it. Billy the Kid, notorious outlaw, but with a pipe. First off, the man was always on the run, so he'd need a travel pipe, rugged, light, maybe a nice corn cob. Yeah, nothing says outlaw like a corn cob pipe tucked into a dusty bandana. He lights up after a gunfight. Well, that was stressful. Time for some old shuckling cherry blend. You know he'd be mixing his own blends too. Probably whatever he could steal. One week it's cherry tobacco, the next week it's just dried cactus. Imagine the wanted poster. Wanted, Billy the Kid. Armed, dangerous, and smells faintly of vanilla burley. Would have changed his whole reputation. Instead of the kid, they might have called him Puffin Billy. Less quick draw duels, maybe more pipe duels. First man to relight his pipe after a gust of wind wins. Go see our friends also on Etsy called Sewell's Woodworks. They have several 3D printed items and, as the name suggests, awesome wood items as well. Go check them out, Sewell's Woodworks on Etsy. All right, Pine Grove Briar mailbag time. We got some great emails this week. First up is Sarah from Kalamazoo. She said, "Hey, Pine Grove, if Billy the Kid had survived, what kind of pipe tobacco would he smoke today? Well, had he survived, he would be an entirely old man. But that's still a good question. I'm thinking he'd go for something bold, probably really smoky, rugged, no nonsense. Or maybe he just kind of mellow out with age, end up loving something like a soft aromatic, something called Billy's Blend. Notes of gunpowder, cactus flower, and molasses. Coming soon to a pop shop near you." That would be awesome. Next up, Jason from Boise. What's the best pipe shape for a traveling outlaw? Stubby and sturdy. I'm saying probably a nose warmer. Short, easy to pocket. You don't want a fancy church warden while you're ducking behind a horse trough. I mean, if you trip during a shootout, a long stem pipe could poke your eye out. Practicality matters when you're both puffing and running. And finally, Clint from Amarillo says, "Was pipe smoking common in the Old West?" Clint, that is absolutely a big, fat yes. Cigars were popular too, but pipes were huge. It was easy to carry, cheap, and you could smoke almost anything in them. There's a reason so many old photos show dusty cowboys with pipes clenched between their teeth. Plus, let's be honest, after days and days on a cattle drive, a little sweet smelling tobacco probably went a long way toward making campfire conversations bearable. Appreciate all y'all writing in. And if you would like to drop us a line, contact us at pinegrovebriar@gmail.com. Or if you would like to support our program, check us out at pinegrovebriar.com. Uh, pinegrovebriar@gmail.com. Y'all know I can't go an entire episode without getting my tongue tied around itself. So here we go. That wraps up our deep dive into Billy the Kid, outlaw, legend, and honorary pipe smoker in the alternate universe of the Pine Grove Briar. We learned a lot today, mostly that even the baddest cowboys needed a little puff piece in their life. If you enjoyed today's episode, give us a rating, leave a review, and send your own letters, as I said, to pinegrovebriar@gmail.com. You might just hear your name next time. And until then, keep your pipes lit, your powder dry, and your stories true. And remember, history's a lot more fun when you can laugh at it.